Go in there.
Greetings, Penguin Fidels. Bald Eagle coming at you. Hello, Bald here, Eagle here, and on the left is the
Honey Badger.
Hello, Badger. How far art
Hello,
thou tonight,
Eagle.
Badger?
Are we doing this as a British show?
It's a British show.
Oh, just kidding.
Who am I? Gonna burn this place to the ground.
Okay, funny.
It's your big
I'm going to
favorite
play that over and over and over again just to annoy you.
Oh, God. Every time we were throwing out those supplies, I had to
It's so great.
I hear it in my sleep, and it's like, man, what can you do? You gotta love it.
It's my Loki notification.
Oh, man, he is kind of low-key, you know? Welcome to the Eagle and Badger Show.
The Sunday edition.
Sunday 1 hour special edition. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Right on. Friends don't let friends what?
Oh, you've never seen this. This is like one of my favorite shirts.
Don't show Jimmy.
Jimmy, you didn't see anything, Jimmy.
Yeah, tell him. We got Rita, Rose.
Jimmy, why are you looking at my boobs, Jimmy?
Well, you know, on that one, I have to say, Jimmy, good job. You know what?
Yeah.
It's a guy thing. Brothers got to look out for them. Rita Gold, hello. Rita Rose Conway Panock, hello. Hi.
Can I just say something about Rose real quick? So Rose is my neighbor. She's amazing. If she didn't, along with Becky, help me with my kids, like I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I do. So give a shout out to Rose. She's amazing. Her husband's amazing.
Rose, you are an amazing rock star, American hero, patriot. We love you. Liz Joint is on here.
Hello, Liz.
Regina Burns is on here.
Hello, Regina.
And Marjorie is
Hello, Marjorie.
How dare you, Marjorie, have so many R's in your name?
Marjorie. Ardra.
And Rita Gold. I had to turn off the Waltons. The Waltons. Now.
What? No, she turned off the Waltons to watch us. I mean, that's a pretty big compliment.
We know we are now outdrawing the HGTV show. So that's the thing. It's like, or Comet, the network. See, we're growing.
Growing.
It's a good thing. Good things, as David Bunner used to say way back in 1992. Good things, good things.
Got things.
So, Badger.
Yeah.
There's Mark Jazanak. James Nebel is on there looking at your boobs. That's what he said.
So you just said that, and then Rose, so you brought up the boobs again, and then Rose goes, "Love them babies, Audra," and I'm like, wait. Oh, she's talking about my kids.
Oh, gotcha. Well, you know, hey.
I'm like, oh, well, I love you, Rose, and I'm not that way, but, you know, I still love you.
I love your kids, too. And your boobs. Who said that? I think that was Jimmy.
It was the penguin. Tell that penguin to stop being such a pervy.
Penguin, stop being a pervy.
Yes, penguin.
This is Sidney Crosby Jr. Penguin. What he is.
Yeah. I bought him in Pittsburgh, and then magically I'd go to take a bath in the bathroom, and the pervert be sitting on the side of the bathtub. And I'm like, come on, penguin.
Why were you taking a bath in the bathroom? You go to the bathroom in the bathroom. You don't take a bath in a bathroom in a public restroom.
No. Oh, never mind.
Well, you got to explain that better. See, we're literally like. I have to understand.
If people aren't intelligent enough to figure that out, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't taken a bath in the public urinal stall in ages. When I was like a little tiny eagle.
I didn't say anything about a public.
Oh, okay. It was a private one. Gotcha. So you just happened to walk down to the Penguin gift shop located in the hotel bathroom that you had.
I said I bought him in Pittsburgh. And then every time I went to go to take a bath in the hotel room, the little pervert was there.
Gotcha. Well, Pittsburgh Penguin, man, I'll tell you. We got Mark Jazanak on here. Walton's in the Little House Rock. Janice Van Oostran. Hey, gorgeous. I'm not sure whom she is addressing, so we both shall say, thank you, Janice. Hey, gorgeous, right back at you. Christy Cook, I stopped watching WWE Extreme Rules for this show.
Heck yeah, man.
We are now outdrawing Rowdy Roddy Piper and the Junkyard Dog. And who else is on WWE nowadays?
Oh, I don't know. I used to know a lot of them, but I don't really. We used to really, really be into it, but I don't watch it anymore.
It's been Stone Cold.
Steve Johnson, Stone Cold Steve Johnson, right?
Stone Cold, yep. Steve. Rose Conway Pinnock. Justin Bennett is on there. And there's Jeffrey DeGabriel. And let's see, Janice Van Ostrand says, LOL, y'all are gorgeous too. So, you know what? I love when they kind of spread the wealth around. I don't get called gorgeous that much. I'm old and decrepit. So what happens? You know, it's just the way it is. Jimmy Nebo says, boy, I'm showing my age. Geez, I should talk about Bruno Sammartino if he wants to really see my age there.
Oh, wait, is it the Princess Bride guy?
Nope, that was Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, but he was in wrestling too, wasn't he?
Yep, years ago.
That's what I thought.
Way back in this thing we used to call the 1800s. That's when Andre the Giant was only 7'5". And then, of course, you know, as time progressed, he ended up becoming like 9'6". And then, of course, 2005 rolled around, and then you were born, and you know, everything went to hell.
I wish I was born in 2005.
Then you'd be like a super millennial.
I know, it's gross.
So they're coming in like crazy here. I am trying to adjust my chair, and I'm sorry. You like my new studio setup?
Where are you? Oh, are you in the blue room?
I'm in the blue room, but I'm having trouble with the shag rug. It's hard when you get the chair with the feet on it to make it drag across a shag rug. So if I'm fidgeting, it is not because I have hemorrhoids or ants in the pants, but I do take Preparation H orally, and I brush my teeth with it. So my mouth never itches or burns.
That's a tad bit gross. And I'm pretty sure that's not very healthy.
Well, you never get a hemorrhoid in your mouth.
Can you get hemorrhoids in your mouth?
Let's hope not. We don't want to describe how you. Oh, man.
I'm good.
So they're coming in droves here. What is our thing we always say? Badger?
I don't know. We say a lot of shit.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Yeah.
I think you said we are broadcasting to YouTube tonight.
Yeah, first time going live to YouTube. I'm excited.
YouTube, I like it. Thank you.
I'm hoping it's working correctly. I don't know. We're still kind of working out. We had to get like approval and everything to do live on Facebook. They had to do, I don't know, background check, blood test. I don't know. It was ridiculous, but
toe jam samples.
Right.
Yep, that's what happens.
Should be going live to Facebook or to YouTube.
Hopefully, yes. So, where's our ticker, by the way, Monfrere?
I'm getting it. I was working on the YouTube thing. There it is.
Christy wants to know, what have I been doing to get hemorrhoids in my mouth, Clay Coey? That question would not be, what have I been doing? That question would be, who have I been doing? I guess you would have to use the correct, what do they call that? Yeah, but sorry. Oh,
wait. I think you're thinking herpes.
I guess it's better than his peas, right? You know, that's the thing.
It's the Lord's Day we meet.
Hey, we got Armand Plaisance.
Hello, Armand.
Junior. Our favorite Cajun, the Ragin' Cajun, right?
The Ragin' Cajun.
The Ragin' Cajun is looking live from Louisiana.
Woo woo!
I love it. So we had a lot of things come up today. Did your messenger thread blow up this morning? Mine did.
I tried to turn mine off on Sunday just because my kids don't get a lot of one-on-one attention from me, and We had a loss in the family this last week, so I just, I felt like it was just one of those days I just needed to spend some time with my boys because my girls aren't here. So I had just the boys today. So we just had some one-on-one, mommy and boy day.
That's good. That's good, Audra. I think you need to do that. Who passed in your family?
It was my older daughter and son's great grandpa. So my son was up there with him while he was actively passing, and he's only 16, so it hit him pretty hard. But I'm super proud of him because for being only 16, he was there the whole time holding his grandpa's hand and letting him know he was going to be okay. And so super, super proud of him. But he may be my oldest, but he's still a kid, and it still hit him pretty hard. So
how old was his grandpa?
Oh, well, it was his great grandpa. I think he was something like 93 or something. I mean, it really hit him hard because this guy has always been like, up until like 6 months ago, this dude could pick up the back of a car. You know what I mean? So he's always been super strong, super just, so it really, really impacted my son when like, okay, the super strong guy is all of a sudden laying in bed. And let's be honest, death is not a pretty sight. It's not pretty. So, no, but I'm proud of him. Yeah. Super proud of him. He manned up and he did real well with it.
Well, they say Godspeed and prayers to your family and you as well at this tough time. And I guess I echo what Aunt Jan says over there. She goes, "Hey, sorry for your loss, prayers." So at this time, you can never say words. When someone passes away, you always get the "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." There really aren't any words to take away somebody's pain, but that is where you sit there and say, you know what, anything you need, you let us know. Godspeed, and the family will, it's all you can do.
Right. Well, and him being 16, I don't want to say it was a good experience that he went through it, but I think it helped him to really realize, like, okay, this isn't always going to be easy. It's not always going to be something that's pretty, life in general. But he, from what I heard, him and his grandfather were the only one up there. None of the other grandkids or even my son's dad was up there. So it was real hard on him. But, he got to experience what hospice was. It was just a difficult time for him. But he's doing well, and as he can be expected to be, right?
Right. That's all you can expect them to do.
Yeah. I mean, our kids think that, don't we all, until we first really experience death, is we see these movies and we go, oh, it's so sad. They take their last, they go, oh, goodbye world. And then take their last breath, and that's it. And until we actually actively see somebody die, we don't realize how incredibly disturbing, and it's not pretty, and it's just not a pretty thing to see somebody go through.
No, it never is. You never like to see that. And the thing is, it's always what they say, it's a fact of life. I think it's important that people know how to deal with it. But you until you go through it, especially when you're a child, when a child or somebody it's their first time through it, it is how they learn how to cope. Honestly, it's the only way to do it, and always the going by is always the hardest thing to do. But you have to remember, if you believe in a higher power, that they're always going to be looking down upon you and wishing the best for you, because someday it will be us. It's about all you can tell them is you live your life every day. The most out of every time is all we have,
Yep, absolutely. And that's what we keep telling him, he's in a much better place now. Much better place now.
Totally agree. So, Badger, what's on your agenda for tonight? I have a few things we can cover if you have nothing on your list of pre-show prep.
Not today. I took the day off and hung out with my kids. So why don't you hit me with your first one on your list? We'll see what we're talking about.
Hit you with my best shot, eh? Well,
Yeah. Hit me with your best shot.
hit
Play
you with your best
Fire
shot.
away.
Fire away.
See, I know that song.
You got that. That's an 80s reference, too.
Pat Benatar, right?
That was, man, you are batting 2 for 2 tonight. Wow.
I know.
You win a free t-shirt.
Even
I'll
the
even sign it
t-shirt.
for you. Love the
Have you
Eagles.
checked on those? Are they on the way, on track? They're
Already
yay.
confirmed. It might get here a day earlier, but we're still on target for the 30th. So then we can start rolling them out. Tiffany Swayze, the Blue Jay, says she's sorry to hear Audra, and she's sending hugs your way. Liz
Thank
Dwight says
you.
condolences, Badger. James Nebel, prayers to you and your family, Badger. Brian Buck is driving to work. Brian
Well,
drives safe.
hello, Brian.
And Christy Cook says, I'm not even going to say I'm not going to say I'm sorry, even though I am. But I know from personal experience, I didn't want to hear it anymore. Just my own personal experience. Yes, Christy
Right.
Cook has been through about a year and a half of pure you know what. So that is somebody that probably knows exactly what the pain of this all is. And I'll let her tell you personally. But Christy has been through a lot. And like I said, but only folks that really go through it can ever know that.
Right.
So yes, but yes, it is a fact of life. It's never something that's pleasant to talk about. I think it's imperative we teach our children that it's going to happen someday. We can't have people forever, so you must enjoy them while we're here. Speaking of people coming here, have you heard about the lovely right? I call it the right to come home bill.
Oh no, what is that?
44 Democrats have already signed on to this bill.
So I'm not going to like it because it's Democrat.
Well, this is one where if you read it, I call it the right to come home bill. It is a way of getting around prior felons and folks that come here illegally.
Oh,
and it was passed by our lovely friends, Ilhan Omar, Occasional Cortex. You know who she is, right?
Uh-huh.
AOC, you know me.
Yeah. I want 5 minutes with that chick. 5 minutes, and I'll be having her out. 5 minutes. She'll be calling Trump daddy.
I think most of her boyfriends in college had 5 minutes with that chick. So
5 minutes. She'll be calling Trump daddy.
Needs to call somebody daddy because I don't think her daddy did a very good job raising her with any kind of functioning brainstem. But you have 44 Dems that have already signed on to this bill. What it does is it allows felons that have come here and broken the law and who were deported the right to come back to the United States.
That doesn't surprise me. I wish it did.
Right. We were talking about this a little bit last time, and I do not understand how a bill like that could be signed on by anybody who isn't American-minded. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it makes no sense. If you deport someone who is a child molester or a pedophile or a murderer and give them the option to come back here, does that make any sense to you at all? Brian Buck actually study this a little bit, and I was reading the video. Tucker did a very good segment on it, and it is a way of circumventing immigration law. It is a way of circumventing basic constitutional law. So what it's doing is now getting around your fundamental rights as a law-abiding citizen and giving the rights to illegal immigrants who've already broken the law here to come back in, no questions asked.
So just to be clear, this law says, say I'm an illegal immigrant and I commit a robbery and I'm deported. It gives them a right to come back, right? Yeah. This doesn't surprise me because we have seen time and time again that there is a distinct set of separate rules. And it infuriates me because an American citizen, you know how you always hear, we don't want families separated. Okay, nobody wants families separated. But let's be honest, there's a problem when me as an American citizen, if I commit a crime, I will be separated from my children. If I don't have somebody to take responsibility for those children are going into the state custody. That's the law. But we're seeing time and time again, and I love you, Jimmy, and I'm not saying all Democrats, Jimmy, and I'll try to be nice.
Oh, you must have read the message thread.
I'm only being nice because Jimmy's on there. As soon as he goes, I'm like, what the hell? No.
Jimmy, you have a new fan.
But I mean, let's be honest. First of all, you have no business being here if you're here illegally. First of all, but to say you can commit a crime, get deported, and still come back here is giving people who are not even citizens of the United States more rights than citizens of the United States.
Correct.
Let's be honest, there's something broken here. It's incredibly disgusting because you know why they're doing it. It's to pander for votes. Used to be the Black community that they were like, oh, you guys are so important to me during election season. And then, of course, they throw the Black community under the bus when it's not election season. Now we're seeing more of the Black community waking up and going, wait a minute, these guys on the right might have something going here because they're voting for laws that help us, and the Democrats are voting for laws that hurt us. So now they know, they're starting to wake up, and they're like, man, we better figure something out here because we're never going to win another election again if the people keep waking up. So now they know we can get a bunch of people over here illegally. And then after they say, let's get them over here illegally, now they're pushing for people that are here legally to be able to break laws. And then they're voting for people who are here illegally to have state IDs. Well, Clay, what did we just pass in the state of Michigan? We just passed.
What didn't they pass in the state of Michigan? We got more laws here than we have.
I know. Proposition 2, last time we voted, gives everybody who registers to get a new ID or renew ID automatically registers them to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me this isn't apparent what's going on.
It's absolutely apparent what's going on. And now you have this vote by absentee ballot, this vote by paper ballot, this vote by this, vote by that. Oh, register to vote the day at the polls. You got 4 years in between elections. If you don't have the time to go down to Jocelyn Benson's Save Our Ship, that's what I call it, SOS department, or in the rest of the normal world, they call it the DMV. Yeah. But to register to vote, and you have to do it the day of the election. This is called what, Audra?
Voter fraud.
Bingo! This is an attempt.
Voter fraud.
Right. And now they're already moving on to bringing in more folks that should not be voting anyway. Florida did the same thing. You actually had a judge stand up and deny the voting rights of 1 million felons in Florida the other day. I was reading about that. And boy, are they all up in arms. That's voter suppression. Look, you are a convicted felon. You should not have the right to vote, period. You took somebody else's rights away. Why should you have a right?
You're a menace to society. Why should you have a say in what goes on in society?
So it was good to see an actual judge do their job and say, nope, sorry, but I'm sure it'll get appealed and it'll last in the courts till the end of time. But now you have folks that want, and again, we all came from immigrants. Yours from Philippines, mine from Italy and Ireland and probably some Germany and places like that. And you have to give them a pathway to citizenship, because if they wish to Americanize, they understand the Constitution. They come here and they're seeking political asylum. I get it. However, if they're sneaking across the border and they break the law, or they rape a child, or they're involved in sex trafficking, and you kick them back over to the border or wherever the hell they came from, and then you give them the pathway to come back here to circumvent an American-born's rights, something there is wrong. And that takes away from the rights of Black, white, Indigenous American, the Indian, Asians that have come here and immigrated the right way. There is no logical reasoning for that except for what you said. It's a way to gain. Geez, how many more would that be? 8% on the bottom line.
Millions. Yeah.
Right. And you're right. If that ever passes, the Republicans will never win again. Period. End of story. Over. Said. Done. You might as well live in LA.
Well, and to be honest, we need to get control of the illegal immigration into this country. And, I keep hearing these people complain, well, when people seek asylum, there's no path to citizenship. And it's like, well, that's because they're seeking asylum. Asylum is not, oh, we're scared, we're coming to live in your country permanently. No, asylum is a very temporary situation. It's set up, right? So where if I'm living in clay, the land of clay, and the land of clay is under attack, and I'm coming over to Audra Land until the land of clay has settled their crap down. I'm not coming here and saying I get to live here for the rest of my life. No, I'm here temporarily until the Claylanders get things figured out, right? So no, there's not a path of citizenship, or at least I'm not an expert on it, but I've heard there's not, and I've heard people complain about that, but that's not what it's for. Not to mention, I think we're going to start seeing fortunately, there's an unfortunate need for it, but I think we're going to see some amazing things coming out of the board as far as human trafficking. We have seen time and time again people complain there's children in cages and there's families being ripped apart. What they're not seeing is the reason why this is happening is there's a lot of human trafficking going on in between the borders, both ways, into U.S., out of U.S. So when these families are getting stopped at the border, now not all of them are this way, but a lot of them, I think it's like 1 in 3 or something like that. These people are coming over with these children, and we're finding out these children don't belong to this family, or there's a random guy with a little girl. We're finding out this little girl doesn't even belong to this little guy. They're keeping them at the border because they do DNA testing. They do research. They want to stop this from happening. So, if these children have to stay in these camps, they're calling them, first of all, I've seen some of these camps. They've got like video games and swimming pools and soccer. It's a pretty nice stuff. It's not like they're living in one of those horrible conditions. But, I would rather these children be in protective custody or trying to going back and forth, and we have no clue who they belong to.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Read your comments.
Yep.
Everybody's saying your feed is breaking up.
Huh. I know. I guess you take it because I don't hear it differently.
It's sideways on her end. It probably did the same on mine. How are we now?
I don't hear anything different. Do you?
No, you sound good now. I want to see if there's
chipmunk. Am I the chipmunk?
Christy Cook says Audra's the chipmunk now. But let's see if we get any more thing the feed came in, because your video is a bit grainy. I just wanted to make sure. It says it's freezing up. Regina says it's good. Jimmy says it sounds good. Excellent. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I'm sorry. Yes, you were making a great point there, and I wanted to make sure the audience heard that too.
No, I mean, I think we are going to see, and there's a lot of things that I think the general public is very I'm not going to say ignorant of, is very unaware is happening right now. But I think the coming months is going to be very, 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 I guess, amazing to watch happen, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out that, I mean, it's going to be hard to deal with if what we have been given the information about is actually happening. It's going to be very, very difficult to deal with because it's been happening for a very long time. But at the same time, it's going to be very amazing to see some of these really deep state fans finally go down for the basic order of humanity that they've evolved in for years.
You're chipmunking again.
That's it.
Is it on your Wi-Fi?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's like, yeah, it's kind of like stop motion, like if you were hitting the pause button and then the play button slowly on a DVD is what it kind of looks like.
Huh.
But yeah, I believe that most folks got the
that's
gist of what you were saying. And Jeffrey de Gabriel says we need voter ID. I totally agree. I do not think that is discrimination. I think you have to have a vote. Jimmy Nebel, our lovely favorite Democrat neighbor, he goes, "What if I got 3 DUIs and in the state of Michigan?" Oh, wait, though. Now she's coming back in. We'll see if she clicks back on. Audra, please never forget your charger again. I see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Jimmy asked a question, and then Jeffrey followed it up later on after that. And Jimmy asks, if I get 3 drunk driving tickets and become a felon in the state of Michigan because it is, I should never be able to vote again. Well, that's debatable. If you're drunk driving out there and it takes you 3 times to learn your lesson, you got a problem. So because you are taking your life in your hands and you are also possibly drunk driving, you could kill somebody. So that's the thing. There's enough drunk driving homicides or vehicular homicides because folks are drunk. If you get 1 DUI, sure, go ahead and vote again. It takes 2, you got a problem. But if you aren't coherent enough to fix the issues that you have, you sure as hell aren't coherent enough to vote educatedly, period. So I honestly believe there should be a test when you go to the polls. That's the way it should be. A literacy test. Okay? If you can't read, you shouldn't be able to vote. Period. You should have a basic idea of the Constitution. Period. Now I get it. If somebody is busted because they had 420 in their trunk in a state that isn't like Michigan where it's legal, whatever. You know, if they get 1 DUI, everybody screws up. But if you're a repeat offender and you become a felon, no, sorry. We're not all repeat offenders. So why should that person be afforded the same rights that we are? So to answer Jimmy's question, no. You need voter ID. You betcha. You know, it's to the point where when these like, oh, that's voter suppression. That's crap. You got to turn it. When you go to buy that beer at a Rite Aid, I'm a 50-year-old man. I get carded every time I go to a Rite Aid or to a Meijer to get alcohol. So if I have to do that, even though I do not look like I'm 18 or 21 or whatever the drinking age is in your state, you should definitely have to show who you are at the polls to vote, along with your voter registration card. Because otherwise, who's to say you just moved yesterday from one township to the next, and you can go and vote here and register, and then they count it, and you could always go back over to the other township and vote it. Or who's also to say these paper ballot things that they're sending out right now, you don't fill it out the day of and then go to the polls the next day and vote live. You know it's going to happen. You know it doesn't happen because the paperwork is so slow in the government, they will never catch it. And it's one thing if it's Vermont and you're losing 70-30, but in elections where 10,000 votes swings an entire state, that is very easy to corrupt.
Well, and we're also seeing with these paper votes, I actually kind of applaud it happening because we're starting to see how deep the actual corruption can be. Because we're seeing people are getting paperwork for people that haven't lived in that home for 20 years. Or we're seeing multiple ballots. And I think there was even a story on the news where they got one for their cat. Their cat, Clay. So it's like, wait a minute, wake up, because if this is happening now, it's been happening. If this is at this extent, that means it's always been at this extent. I absolutely refuse to do an absentee ballot, because I've seen how easily it can be corrupted. I absolutely 100% believe that if you are a hardcore germaphobe maskie, okay, we'll call them the maskies. Even though you're probably going to vote the opposite of what I'm going to vote, I absolutely believe that you have got to risk it and go to those polls, because your vote will, I can almost guarantee it, your vote will not count if you do not go to the polls.
Right. What the, say hi to my kiddo. Kaylee's on here, by the way. My oldest.
Kaylee.
I said, she goes, I'm glad I get carded because that means the place cares and that they're following the rules. Exactly. And Sherry's like, she goes, do they actually let, they actually let mentally disabled people allow the guardians to vote for them? So the guardian votes twice.
Yes.
Votes twice for the disabled, the mentally handicapped person. 2 votes for that one person.
No, they're saying, no, she's saying like the guardian gets to vote, and then the guardian tells the mentally handicapped person how to vote.
Gotcha.
It was either my mom or Becky said they actually, I think it had to be my mom. She actually like witnessed this happening one time. She was like, the guy was like, I don't know how to vote. And the lady was like, I told you, you just go in, you mark Democrat and you're done. Or we've heard of stories coming out of polling centers where people go and say, hey, can you explain me how to vote? Instead of explaining to them, they say, just check here and check here. What they're saying is, check here that you're legally able to vote, check here Democrat. We see it happen. And I'm sure in some places it happens with Republicans too, but it's wrong.
Christy says you're back to being an intermittent chipmunk again. Do you want to go live from my feed? Go try again. Say something.
What's that?
You're still on freeze. It's like it's very intermittent. Is it your feed?
I don't know, because it might be YouTube, because it's something that we're doing on YouTube. I don't know, because I haven't froze or anything on end, and usually when it freezes on both. So I don't know.
Okay, you want me to go?
I don't know.
Want me to go ahead and we can sign it off here, and I'll kick over to my feed and send you the link. Maybe it'll be stronger on my side. Okay, let's sign you off though, because I know if we stay in each other's link, it'll go sideways in the next feed. Okay, folks, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get a better feed from my angle. We'll be right back. Give us 5 minutes, okay? Thanks for your patience.